Mama said there'll be days like this. Mama said there'll be days like this. Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this. My mama said. Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this. My mama said. Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this. My mama said. Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this. My mama said. Mama said there'll be days like this. Just like you praise like this. My mama said. Against influx of poverty, famine, incurable diseases, unmotivated parents and soulless bodies sitting and waiting for a change to come. With first you need to change yourself. Mama said, don't touch that pot, you might get burned. And always be kind to your teacher so you will learn. Because Mama said there'll be days like this. There'll be days like this. What Mama said of what she thinking and what he bringing. But most of all, what's your final answer and what you want to be and what you want to be, who you want to be and how you see yourself getting there. Because if you can reach it, you can teach it. And if you have taught it, you have learned it too. And that's the power of thinking, because Mama said there'll be days like this, there'll be days like this. My Mama said there'll be days like this. So I prepare for this, because Mama said there'll be days like this of hard times, for good dime earned and well spent. And when that man is taking that last check from you, you go up there, you write your check, you say, hey, you take this, and I'll take that, I'll have that, thank you. Mama said there'd be days like this, so I prepared for this. Because Mama said, always save your money and watch it multiply. But don't forget to give a bit, because goodwill is willing good and the results have never lied. And if it's your vision, if it's your vision, you write it, you make it plain. Take it out your head and put it into motion. Enlarge your territory. Because to have what's yours is more than just a notion. Put it into action. So that what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours at the end of the day. On you at the end of the day. On you is what you pray. Mine eyes have seen the glory, because Mama said. Mine eyes have seen the glory, because Mama said. Mama spoke of suicide, homicide, and how genocide was without compromise. Mama, you said there'd be days like this, but we prayed against this. So Mama, what are you really saying? That this is how the world exists? Stand tall for you, and the rest will follow. Stand strong in truth, and the goodness shall come. Swallow your pride and hold your head up high. For the storm is here, but the sun is nigh. Mama said, keep moving. The power is in what you have and not what you have not. Where's the light? But where's the light? I feel myself falling. My nerves are creeping. My nerves are creeping and falling. Where is the light? I can't see the light. Children are dying. Mothers are crying, and fathers. And time is swiftly fading, and we are still at war. I cannot see the light. Where is the light? Mama says, stand strong for you. Stand tall for you. Where is the light? Where is the light? Open your eyes and walk, boy. Open your eyes and walk. Fearlessly, cautiously, wisely. Keep walking. Fearlessly, cautiously, wisely. Keep walking. Fearlessly, cautiously, wisely. Keep walking. But I don't know where I'm going. Mama said, Each step puts you closer into position. But you gotta keep moving. You gotta keep moving. You got to keep moving to get over. Now step into transition. I went in the open room, and I fell on my knees and prayed, asking God, oh why is this? For my life today, while there's some other places, good seas and warm embraces, I see. This is where I be, this room that's meant for me. I went in the open room, and I started my life today. Open eyes with brand new tears, for the world I face, for days, brighter days, brighter days, smelled. I was tired of a amused population of Negroes whose vocabulary had been reduced to words of swearing and the daily roastings of your mama. Just a group of color, just giving the minstrel one more time. I mean, no words can even express my level of discontent, of frustration, of this deliberate habits to steal and kill for the sake of survival. I mean, each day of being there warranted me to continue my rigorous working habits and to always continue that of good citizenship, because I knew that if I continued this pattern of being right, I could redeem myself from that lowly, dreadful mess of living, and I did. I removed myself from that in which is called the ghetto. A group of impoverished idiots that want people to feel sorry for their lack when they're the ones benefiting from my income, my salary that they told me not to go after, because to extradite myself from such a hideous environment would classify me as a sellout. Uncle Tom, an Oreo, as some would call it. I'm crucified daily for wanting something more than low-income housing and luxury vehicles earned through dishonest work. I mean, here we were, the same people in the same neighborhood, but it was only me that knew that there could be something different, something better. I mean, I knew the day was coming I would become lost in the numbers. Soft, weak, nerd boy. I would hear this daily. Somehow to them I was a threat, a social threat to be exact, that was only useful as a brain aid during class exams. To them, I didn't belong. And as you can see, I agreed. So, the story continues with God's great blessing to us all. Quite an atrocity she was to me, an erroneous specimen of a woman. I guess it was not enough to be born into bastard living, but through conception, I was gifted an impoverished home with apparent literacy dilemmas. I would work so hard to make things better. She wouldn't. I can recall every academic achievement. You know, where other kids were treated to McDonald's, and a few of my classmates were given like $1 bill. Mine were followed by that chronic sips of Pepsi Cola and Crown Royal, a hard stare, and go get me a pack of cigarettes, sir. Or go help your brother with his homework, because you were not smart enough to help him yourself. Yep, that was my mother. She was one among many of my people that were satisfied with nothing, trapped in their own slothfulness, but yet they want to judge the man that decides to do something different. I mean, they're giving homes for pennies of $1, but yet you can't manage to keep a simple window fixed? Well, maybe this week you can't get your hair done. I would tell her that, but she wouldn't listen, so we paid for it. First, there was the broken window, then there was no water, no gas, no lights. Months at a time we suffered, and no one understood why I hated that place. And you want to know the most dreadful thing of it all? The most dreadful thing of it all is that we felt that we were supposed to live like that. Yes, we the black people caught up in this pretentious ghetto disposition. I've never seen such a race of people that can see struggling as some amazing act of God. The bigger the struggle, the bigger the sacrifice, the easier it will be to inhabit the kingdom of heaven. How ridiculous. How absurd. And yet we don't get better, we get worse, because we teach our children this obscene nature, and then they later invest into their children, then their children, then their children, and the cycle continues, a mental genocide that we are too ghetto to comprehend. Obstacles are not about struggling black people. Obstacles are about thinking, about applying essential variables to form an objective conclusion to solve that problem. 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4, like that. But what happens when 1A = 2? Or 2A = 4A? No. The variables are implied and the charts change. And now we have to figure that out. And that's where the problem begins. Change. So many of us refuse change. Refusing to find out what A means as if A is the problem. A is just there. A is not the problem. A is the solution. We are the problem. The ones and the twos. Used to our own customary imprudence that we disavow any opportunity for neo-social conformity because it ain't what we used to. Well, what you're used to is what keeps you on welfare, uneducated, unmedicated, unsophisticated, in prison, and just a statistical obstruction for what our ancestors fought and died. Strength, health, wellness, beauty, success, all of that is available, but we must first think that we can access it. We continue to talk about what the white man ain't gonna give us. Well, if we continue to commit to such an archaic mentality, then that is where we will always be trapped. Trapped in stupidity and never accessing truth. Have you all forgotten? This country that we call America was largely built by African American immigrants. Immigrants who were sold by our people, mind you, who traveled the Atlantic for the sake of another man's survival for wealth and power. Wealth and power that we still have not learned how to appropriate. Because we're taught to just give it all away because the law says so. Or we steal it, or we just tuck it for that rainy day that's always existing, but we act like we don't see it. Starvation, homelessness, health aids, legitimate small businesses that need a little assistance to get started. No, we don't see these things, right? But we'll buy into the latest trend that's built off the ideas of another man who's making money that you will probably never see. We've become social predators of greed and strife, whereby making us elite members of a fortified, hypocritical body of people who are no longer respected for our values, but our valuables. We traded in our drums for a more quiet rhythm that doesn't have to sing songs or thread strings, or just fellowship with one another. We traded in our beads for more extreme hair devices that consist of synthetic hair fibers and lye, resulting in dead hair follicles that now refuse new growth. See, I am not your Uncle Tom, your Oreo, or whatever you want to call it. I am just taking responsibility of my own action and my history. I am taking responsibility of my action instead of blaming every black tragic experience on you, the white man, or some other erased name in the history book. Personally, I am never taking the position as the antagonist when it comes to your racist people. To me, you're nothing short of brilliant. You found a way to keep the monkeys killing themselves, and yet we still don't get it. We continue to talk about how you want to be us. No, it's really us that want to be you. We want the power to live and control the world. We want to be able to decide the food we drink, the food we eat, the food we eat, the drink that we drink. We want to be able to decide the stalls we piss in and the toilets we release our bowels. We want these things and more. But yet, once again, we cannot adjust our mental capacity to a world past that of guns, violence, loud talking, and organized religious practices. We built a culture of hair weave and southern fried food samples. We want much of what we don't have, but we're too ghetto to figure it out. And the solution is quite simple. Define the variable. Consider the numbers. Solve the problem. Make the dollar that makes the sense, or make sense of the dollar is what I say. Listen, you give a man a thought, it all belongs to you. But if you teach a man to think, it all belongs to him. See, that is the power. That is the power. He who is limited in borrowing and begging, the thinker who can give from his own ideas, is he who will be greatly rewarded. The thinker who will give from his own ideas is he who will be greatly rewarded. The thinker who will give from his own ideas is he who will be greatly rewarded. Do you agree? Now think about that. Yeah!